Hey, what's up? It's me again. Um, I'm always saying but yeah. Um, what to talk about? What to talk about? Yes, what separates me from other men? What separates me from other men personally is I know how to express myself. Usually, men they ball everything up, man. They just ball their emotions up and they keep it inside until it explodes, like literally explode. But me, I refuse to do that. I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. That's going to lead to mania. And I've been through mania before, you know? That's going to lead me to a destructive path. You know what I'm saying? If I ball up my emotions for so long, you know? But yeah, it's just you got a lot of suckers out there. You know, as men, you got a lot of suckers out there. And I'm not talking about being nice to women and buying them drinks and giving them free food. You know what I'm saying? That's not real. That doesn't make you a sucker. A sucker is a man who will let a woman walk all over him, and not just walk all over him, but will take the blame for everything that she messes up on the woman, you know? Um See, I can't really do that. You know what I'm saying? I believe that women should take accountability for what they say and do, especially when, if you're angry and you say something that's messed up, you know what I'm saying? You should definitely take accountability for what you say. There's always consequences to what you say. Like, for me, for example, if I call women bitches, yeah, the consequences is, what, women are not going to respect me and stuff like that. They're not going to like me for what I'm saying. But if believe it or not, most women might agree with that. Your average woman is a bitch, you know, your average woman got issues, you know, but what even makes me think that way about women is because of the experience that I have with women. I personally go through this thing where it's like you do something nice for them and they take it another way. They take it as me trying to get in their pants. They take it as me trying to, do something in a sexual manner, and it's like, no, I'm just being nice, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, trying to build a, friendship, you know what I'm saying? That's me trying to start a friendship, you know what I'm saying? Not a relationship, but, besides women, let's go back to talking about men. Men, I feel like we need to do better, you know? We let women get away with so much, you know? And it's time that we step up our game and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of guys think that it's about looks. I mean, looks are a part of it, but they're not vital. It's not, I mean, yeah, they are vital if you think about it, because, if you are ugly, I don't think women are going to be attracted to that. You know what I'm saying? Do I find myself to be ugly? Nah, I don't think so. I got these features that make me attractive. You know what I'm saying? I got hair, a beard, a mustache. I got hazel eyes. Women might look at that and be like, you know what, that is attractive. Having hazel eyes is attractive. Having a beard and a mustache, that is attractive to women, you know? And having good eyelashes naturally, that's attractive. If a woman looks at me and say I'm not attractive, there's something wrong with her. She just has she just doesn't have any good taste in what men like. To me, that tells me she has bad taste, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because men are supposed to look like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to be a narcissist. Okay, let's not go there. I'm not saying this to be a narcissist. I'm saying this because if a guy looked like me, he's attractive. You know what I'm saying? He is attractive. You know what I'm saying? To reject me, earpiece is falling out. To reject me means that you have bad taste. You're used to bad people. You know, women, you know, you have women out there who they're into bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Men who they ain't shit themselves, but you know what they say? Birds with a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? Birds with a feather flock together. Ain't shit people will always flock together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in the world of women, finding an ain't shit guy is pretty rare because a lot of guys, we're humble and we know better and stuff like that. So we don't act like we ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys have honor in their life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys have respect, you know, for women. And your average woman, she doesn't want to be treated with respect. But believe it or not, they don't want to be treated with respect. They want to be treated a certain way. I'm not saying to treat women like shit, but I'm saying they want to be treated in a way where it can turn them on. You know what I'm saying? Like most women don't want to be treated like a human being. That's why when you are, you know, being nice to a woman, she kind of just doesn't really it's kind of like this, you know. I mean, what I'm really trying to say is your average guy, he he has this sucker syndrome. I mean, your average guy is somewhat of a sucker, and your average woman ain't shit. There's balance in this. I'm not gonna really consider myself average. There's something special about me, and that's autism. Okay, that's one of them. You know, you know that that is what separates me from your average guy. I have autism, and not only do I have autism, but I'm really smart too. You know, I can do a lot. You know, I have the ability to, you know, break down things. You know, I can break down information to a digestible to be digestible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what separates me from other men. You know what I'm saying? If a woman look at me and say that I'm not attractive, you know, it tells me that she got problems and bad taste. She doesn't, you know, she, you know what I'm saying? Like women who reject men that are attractive, they have bad taste. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like this, man. When you're watching, you know, corn, you end up, you know, rewiring your brain to what you're turned on by. You know what I'm saying? If you're turned on to fat women, it's because you watch a lot of porn. You know what I'm saying? A lot of porn will do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Or it could just be, you know what, that's what you're into. You know what I'm saying? It's totally normal to be into fat women, but they're unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? It's also not healthy either, you know, not to discriminate or anything like that, but it's also unhealthy too, you know. But personally for me, I like fat women. I like fat women. Does that mean I have bad taste? I would say yes and no. Yes, because you know what? That's really disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you're not going to live a long time being that fat. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, I somewhat like fat women. I do, but I don't at the same time. I just find them to be really unhealthy, you know. But it still, it turns me on in some way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I feel. You know. But other than that, what I'm trying to say here is men and women can have either good taste or bad taste. Your average woman might say, you know what, Elijah, you got bad taste. You like fat women. That's bad taste, Elijah. You don't like you don't like slim women, Elijah. You have bad taste in what you like and all this other stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And my response to that is, I mean, I guess you could say yeah, but I kind of don't agree with it at all. I don't know. I'm trying to say that, women have bad taste. They got bad taste, man. They got bad taste. And, you know, a lot of men mistake bad taste with being ugly. It's not that you're ugly. It's just that the woman has women your average woman has bad taste and what they're attracted to, you know, because attractive men, they get rejected. Believe it or not, attractive men, they get rejected. And it goes back to what I said in my other videos. Women have a rejection fetish. They got a rejection fetish going on. And they really get off on this stuff, you know? But, that's pretty much what's on my mind right now. I think what I'm going to do is, you know, if I feel some kind of way or if I feel like talking about something, I'm probably just going to talk about it on YouTube. Because you just never know. There's someone out there going through this. And I like hearing my own voice, by the way. It's not on some super arrogant stuff, but I like hearing my voice. I think my voice is the calmest thing you can hear, you know? I mean, except that one video that I made. I was not calm at all, you know? I mean, I sound like a really intelligent person, and I am intelligent, I know what I'm saying, you know? But yeah, a lot of women are missing out, they are. And I'm not worried, and I don't really agree with this thing where it's like, oh, you're worried about women, that's why you talk about them so much. No, I'm talking about them because it's in my face. I'm seeing it all the time. Why wouldn't you talk about something that's in your face? You know what I'm saying? It's always getting your attention. You know what I'm saying? That's why I talk about them, because it's in my face all the time. I wake up and it's in my face. I eat and sleep and it's in my face. Women are just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And what they do attracts my attention, you know? So that's why I talk about them all the time. I'm not obsessed with them. They're not on my mind all the time. They're just there. They're there, and what they do is good enough to get my attention. You know, and I'm not talking about sexually, so get your mind out of the gutter. But you know, yeah, that's what makes me different from other men. I'm just one of those guys that is attractive, but I'm soft spoken. Being soft spoken might turn off some women. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of women like stern guys. You know what I'm saying? Stern spoken guys. They don't like soft spoken men. Like me, but they do like an attractive man that is who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm technically attractive. Technically, I am attractive. Ain't nothing ugly about me at all. This is as masculine as I can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is masculine features. These are masculine features of mine. And without all that, you know what I'm saying? You know, I wouldn't be able to attract a woman. And and even if I shave my face, right, I'm still gonna be masculine. I'm gonna be original. Matter of fact, I look younger when I shave my face. But you know, the beard is what's keeping me going right now. So I'm probably not gonna shave it off until I feel like starting all over. But this is all that I wanted to talk about in this video. I am forever gonna be different from other men. I'm rare. I am the rarest thing on this planet. Like I don't think like your average guy. I don't, and these videos prove it too. The videos that I make, they show that I don't think like an average guy. I don't. There's nothing average about me. How I think is not normal. I mean, it is normal to an extent, but how I function is not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's totally separate. You know what I'm saying? I separate myself from your average guy only because, how I think and how I process things, you know, it's different. It's different from an average guy. Your average guy, you know, um, he doesn't know how to express himself, you know. But me, I know how to express myself, you know. And that's the realest thing that I can be, you know what I'm saying? This is as real as I can be. But I just wanted to make this video because not a lot of women have good taste in what they like. They have bad taste. Bad taste, you know. Your average woman have bad taste. Their taste in what they like is pretty damn bad, you know. They go for guys that treat them like garbage, you know. But and that's probably because women don't really, I don't even think women even respect themselves, to be honest. That's why they wear a lot of makeup too, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you know I don't think women can stand their looks without the makeup, you know what I'm saying? There's not enough self-love, you know what I'm saying? But that's why they get with men that ain't really good for them. But yeah, um there are men that are good and there are women that are just not this acceptable to that, you know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much all I gotta say. If you feel ugly, just remember it's not always you. Okay, it's not always you. There's gonna be someone out there that is attracted to that facial, to the facial look, you know what I'm saying? You know but for me personally, I ain't ugly, man. There ain't nothing ugly about me, man. My smile is on point and my eyes are on point. My features are on point, man. To reject me tells me a lot about you as a woman. To reject me tells me a lot about you. It tells me that you got bad taste. You don't know what you want. It tells me you don't know what you want. It tells me that you don't love yourself enough to be attracted to me. Somewhere in that head or that brain, you might be telling yourself, you know what, I don't deserve this nice guy. I don't really deserve this guy. Because this guy, he's not just nice, but he knows how to treat a woman. He knows how to talk to women. And yes, I know how to talk to women. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I got so mad in that video was because I came across a woman who ain't shit. You know, your average woman, I can get an average woman just like that. Just like that. If I really wanted to. I can get an average woman. But an ain't shit woman, I can't really get those women because they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. They need makeup to look good. And those women I just can't get because they It's like it's like trash. It's trash, you know? Ain't shit women are trash. And I am not gonna eat where I shit. You know what I'm saying? Or what do you call it? You know, don't eat where you shit. I'm not gonna eat where I shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about ain't shit women. Now the difference between an average woman and an ain't shit woman. See, your average woman, yeah, I said in the video that they ain't shit too. I might be wrong about that because, you know, your average woman, you know what I'm saying, you know, there's personality in there, you know what I'm saying? But an ain't shit woman is a woman who don't give a fuck. A woman who don't give a fuck on the first sight, yeah, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't give a fuck about me, I'm not gonna give a fuck about you too. You know what I'm saying? Um, the only time I give a fuck about a woman is if, you know what, she's nice to me and she somewhat cares. You know, I like women who care about my well-being. You know what I'm saying? If you look at me and you're like, I care about that guy. He looks like an important guy that would change my life. See, I'll keep you around. You know, women like you are not average, but you know, I mean that you're. I mean, they're somewhat average, but I mean, because your average woman will think like that, depending on the guy. But a rare woman is a woman who can, you know, they know, you know, they got good taste. You know, they know how to get a guy. You know, they have good taste in what men they want. You know, women who are smart and know what they want, that's a rare woman because your average woman don't know what they want. But an ain't shit woman, they'll never know what they want. I mean, they know what they want, and that's an ain't shit guy. But you know, what I'm trying to say here is life gives you lemons. Life gives you lemons, man. But that's really all I gotta say. You know, I am attractive, and I'm gonna stick to that from the. I'll take that. Oh, yo. I'll take that to the grave. I'll take that to the grave. I am attractive. My face is glowing right now. You know that, right? My face is glowing. I'm not even sweating. I'm just glowing. You know what I'm saying? I'm glowing. You know, man, I really do feel attractive. And I'm not just telling myself that to stroke my own ego or anything like that. I'm telling myself that because it's the truth. You know, who doesn't like hazel eyes? You know, and who doesn't like a mustache? You know, who doesn't like a beard? And look how sharp you know, look how sharp I look. You know what I'm saying? I look good. I look attractive. You know, and these eyelashes that I got going on, look how sharp these eyelashes are. You know what I'm saying? That's natural. That's natural. You know, as a man, you got to learn how to love yourself, man. You know, you got to love yourself. You know, people that are not in your body, you know what I'm saying? They don't live in your body. You know what I'm saying? They can never tell you anything about yourself. You know what I'm saying? They can't really dictate what's attractive and what's not. But you know what I'm saying? The only time a guy will say that, you know, oh, I'm ugly and this and that, you know, is, you know, maybe it's like, you know, because you got people, especially the men out there that they you know, they say that they're ugly and all that stuff like that. You know, there are men out there that claim to be ugly, right? See, if you thinking that you're ugly, maybe you're ugly. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know. Um, you just gotta take care of yourself and stuff like that. You know, if you're not taking care of yourself, then yeah, you're ugly. But if you are taking care of yourself, like me, I'm, you know, protecting my self esteem, and I'm over here taking care of my self esteem. Do I have an ego? I would say yes and no. I don't really rely on my ego. Am I confident? Yeah. A lot of, men say confidence ain't gonna do nothing. Confidence keeps you from hurting yourself, first of all. Being confident keeps you from hurting yourself. Having a good self esteem keeps you from attacking yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I have a big ego. And you know what? Maybe I gotta have a big ego. I gotta have a big ego because, you know, if I don't have an ego, then I'm gonna end up hurting. I'm gonna be just hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that. I just need a good self esteem. I mean, I already have a good self esteem, you know, but yeah, you know, that's all I really wanted to say in this video. Peace out.